Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Delighted to see all of you, although I cannot see all of you, but I can see some of my favorite people. And I am going to focus today's class on the in-between and on the liminal, the literal, the littoral, the beach, not the ocean, not the land, but that space in between. And we're going to think about what it means to be in between. And I've been reading and thinking about meditation for a while now. And I was reading someone who talked about how meditation and finding some peace often happens in the humdrum. And you can't imagine some grand gesture is going to sweep down on you and enlighten you, but that you can find peace and in the in-between, in those pauses between breaths, between thoughts, between actions. Okay, so that is my modest teaching today. I'm going to just invite us all. I think we'll do quite a bit of work on the floor today. So if you could have blocks and a belt and possibly a blanket or something to raise your hips up if you have find it challenging to reach forward in Dandasana. And I'm going to just move back here. Let's see if you can see me. Here. So I'm just I'm going to sit on my toes right now and press my toes into the ground and just sit back. And it could be excruciating for you. There's no, the point of this yoga practice is not to torment yourself with too much pain, but it is to go to a place which is uncomfortable and then come back. So you might lean back and then lean forward and let the pressure off, or you might lean back and really feel that you are opening up those toes and giving them some vitality. And I'm going to do some timing here. Just stick for a minute longer here. And once again, if you find it too much, just come out of it. And we're just going to breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to focus on the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. So we're inhaling, 3, 4, and then we're going to hold, and then exhale. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. All right, and that's 1 minute. So we're going to lean forward and onto our hands and knees. We can lift our toes up. I'm going to slap the tops of my feet on the floor just to give them a little adventure. And now I'm going to come back into my child's pose for just a moment. And I'm stretching my arms out in front of me and really feeling my shoulders come right up to my ears. So I'm pulling my shoulders up. And now I'm going to draw my arms back and rotate my upper arms out a bit so that we get a different movement in our shoulders. And You can, of course, come up on blocks. You can bring your hands behind you and put your forehead on the floor. And we're just going to rest here for a moment and feel the relief of the in-between space. Pushing myself up, and I'm rolling onto my hip, and I'm going to just sit in Dandasana. Now I have a little beanbag thing here that's that I sit on. You could sit on a blanket or a block or whatever, but I just like having a little bit of height. And I have my feet straight out, and I'm just stretching my toes out, and I'm pointing my toes, and I'm bringing my feet back again, and stretching my toes out and pointing my toes, and bringing my feet back, stretching it out, pointing my toes, and bringing them back. Good. All right. And we're going to work with our shoulders. We're going to lift our shoulders up and bring them back and down and to the front. And just do a few circles here. Going backwards, we'll go backwards 3 or 4 times. And then we'll move the other direction going forward. Good. And we're going to take our hands and going to interlace the fingers and stretch our hands out to the front, and then lift our arms up to the ceiling. And we're pressing into the palms of our hands, and we're stretching our arms out here. And then we're going to stretch our hands the other way and raise them up. And once again, we'll clasp our hands and then stretch them out. And then we're going to lift them up the other way and press them down. Okay, I'm going to flick our fingers. So I'm just grasping my thumb here and just flicking my fingers, moving them up and out. And I'm shaking my hands. So this is helpful for arthritic friends. Come walk like me. Okay. Now I'm going to need a belt possibly, but not necessarily. So I will use a belt just for those of you who may need a belt. Just putting my belt around the toe mounds here. So I'm drawing my feet back, and I'm just sitting up straight, feeling a real sense of lift here. And then I'm drawing forward here. And I'm just going to fold over. Yeah, and you can hold on to your toes if you like, hold on to your shins, or hold on to a belt. And I'm just allowing myself to sink over my legs. And this posture allows you to really deepen the stretch in the hamstring. But you don't have to do too much work this way. You just have to breathe, because gravity will help you descend. And you'll feel, with every inhalation, you'll feel your back body filling up with air. And then with each exhalation, you'll feel yourself possibly sink down a little bit lower. But the effort here is really in the breath. So we're going to once again focus on that pause. And if the breath is too restrictive for you, you find your own pattern of breathing, but focus on that space between the inhalation and the exhalation. And here we go. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. Now we'll come up, just roll up. Good. And we're going to take our, we'll do this sort of seated tree pose, this half butterfly or whatever you call it. We're going to just bring our right leg in, and our left leg is going to go out. The right foot is on the interior of your leg, and we're going to focus on the in-between spaces again, which are very rich spaces. And we're just going to, first of all, we'll fold over our leg. So this requires you to do a little tiny bit of a twist to move over that leg. And we're once again going to just move down. You can use a belt if you like, or just hold, just rest on your chin. And maybe this time focus on bringing your collarbone forward. So it's not just about rounding your back, it's about bringing your collarbone forward and really feeling a sense of relaxation. Now you might want to have something under your head. You could put a block here or a cushion or something like that if you need to. But we're just going to, I'm just going to let my hip go and rest. And once again, we're going to stay here for a minute or so, not too long. And just breathe, inhaling, and then holding, and then exhaling, and inhaling, and holding, and exhaling. Inhaling, and holding, and exhaling. Now we can just roll up. And we're going to work on moving into this in-between space right here. So we're on the diagonal. We're going to walk forward. We're going to be here for a minute or so. Just walking forward here and feeling once again that we're kind of leading a little bit with our collarbone, so that we are imagining that our spine is stretching out a little bit. And we can just feel our bodies extending over this in-between space between our legs. And then we're going to roll up. And we're going to move to this outer space, this literal outer space beyond our legs here. And this is an awkward awkward twist here, but it will have to do. It's our other in-between space. So we're just going to spend a minute here, and we're going to inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And we're just hanging out here. We're giving ourselves permission just to be in this in-between space. And since I'm stretching towards the left, I can feel my breath filling up my right lungs because they are extended. And now we're going to walk back up and just put your left foot out and give your feet a little jiggle here, just to relax them a bit. And we're going to go back onto our, in this case, my left leg is reaching in here. And I have a bit of a knee problem, so I just stick things here. Seems to help it. Okay. There we go. So we're just going to, once again, we're going to move over our front leg straight down in this sort of seated tree pose, and just feel ourselves extend down. We'll be here for about a minute. And our breath is even, and we're focusing in between. And we're going to just roll up here. And we will stretch out into this inner space, just walking our hands forward and really feeling what we're going to have to focus on maintaining contact of the right sitting bone with the floor. And we're just stretching out here, feeling that lovely inhalation into the back body. Inhalation and then holding. And then exhaling. In, hold, exhale. In, hold, exhale. And then we're going to walk our hands back up. And we're going to go into that awkward outer space. And now we're going to come up again. And we'll extend our legs out and just give them a little shake. Good. Okay. We'll do a couple of twists here, I think, since we're sitting here. And we'll just take our right foot, and we'll bring it into our chest. Give it a little cuddle. Cuddling is a good thing. And then we'll lift our foot up, put it on the outside of our, in this case, it's my left thigh. And I'm going to draw my right knee in. You can leave that leg out if you like. And I'm just going to lift my the opposite arm up, my left arm, and I'm really stretching up here, really stretching up so that I'm a bit off balance, but I'm stretching. And then I'm going up, 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 up. As I rotate from my waist, I'm starting at the bottom here and rotating, rotating, rotating. And then I'm going to just let my forearm go into my knee and give myself a good stretch round. In fact, I can hear my spine cracking. I'm giving myself a lovely chiropractic adjustment just by twisting here. And we'll just stay here for a minute or two. So we can press into our bent leg foot, the one that's lifted up, and continue to turn round. We can look in the direction of see if we can look over our shoulder. And we're breathing here. Don't forget to breathe and think about that in-between space, as we're in between the front and the back. We're inhaling, and then we're holding, and then we're exhaling. And we're inhaling, and we're holding, and we're exhaling. And now we're ready to turn around, and we can stretch our leg out and move to the other side. Once again, pedaling. I'm just slapping. I'm going to slap my thighs here. Wake everything up. And I think I'll just tap and slap my chest and my upper arms, my shoulders, my lower arms, my breasts, my belly, my behind, my hips, my back, whatever I can reach there. And I'm tapping gently my face here. And my scalp. Just so we feel every part of our body. And we can even do our toes and our feet. Good. All right, so now we're going to lift up the other leg and put it over the other thigh. Bend our knee. Lift. So this is my left leg over. I'm lifting my right arm up. And I'm putting my hand behind me. I'm stretching out here. So I'm giving myself support in the back. And then as I turn, I'm turning from the lower waist, and I can either hold on to my leg like this, or I can use my arm. It gives me a little bit of a torque here. And we'll just sit here for a minute or so. And I'm inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to hold. So I'm inhaling, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And now we can gently just release and find our way back to sitting on the ground. And we'll just sit in butterfly here. So you can put your feet together. You can have it in a diamond far out or close up, whatever feels most comfortable here. And we're just going to flap our wings for a bit gently. This opens the groin a little. And you can sit on something. You can raise your hips up a bit, a blanket or a small block or something, just to give yourself a bit of space. And this helps you sit in a kind of erect position. And we'll just sit here for a minute or so. And when we're sitting here, we can press our knees towards the floor. You can, if it's too much, you can put blankets or pillows underneath your knees. And you can feel your feet opening up like a book, potentially. Now, this is not required, but it's something that you can manage, and it provides you a little bit of a deeper stretch. But I'm maintaining an upright position with the tip top of my head, my crown chakra, reaching up towards the sky. Just sit here. We'll sit here for maybe another minute. So we'll sit here for 2 minutes. Apparently, people who know about these things suggest that the fascia begins to stretch and become malleable after 90 seconds in a pose. So if we stay for 90 seconds here, we'll maybe do some deeper work on our fascia. Now we can just use our hands to bring our legs together and stretch them out. And we're going to go on to just do a bit of cat and cow, just move our spine a little bit after that, of those quite static poses. So I'm just lifting my, in that sort of Halloween cat, I'm lifting my my spine up, and then I am here in extension, and I'm lifting my spine up. And here I'm inhaling and exhaling. So I'm exhaling when I'm lifted up and my lungs are constricted, and I'm inhaling when my chest is open. So exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale. exhale. Hold. Inhale. Good. And now we'll just make our spine wave a little bit. Feel it loosen out. So that we have a sense of our body wiggling back and forth. And we're going to come down into Sphinx. So we're just on our belly with our arms, our elbows underneath our shoulders, and our fronts of our feet on the ground. That's comfortable. And we're just going to rest here for a minute or two. All right. So breathing here, feeling the openness in our chest, and imagining that we are going to be focusing once again on that pause between the breath. So inhaling, filling up that chest, holding, and then exhaling. Inhaling, holding, and then exhaling. And now we're just going to come right up. We're going to push back into a child's pose here. And then we are going to move up into a nice downward dog. Now I have a wall here, so I can put my hands like this on the wall. And use that to give me some length. Now, I tend to always take a downward dog where my feet are too close to my hands. So I always have to remember to push them out, to move them out a little bit. So we're just going to be here for a moment or so. So I will set the timer. And we're just going to be right here in this downward dog, which is a kind of in-between space. We're not up, we're not down, we're in between. And once again, we're breathing. We're feeling our upper arms rotate out and our lower arms rotate in. So we're pressing our palms on the ground. So that's a kind of an impossible movement, but that's the image, is your upper arms rotate out, your shoulders should slide down your back, and your lower arms are pressing into the palm of your hand. So you have a sense of length in your spine. You can feel your belly button moving back towards your spine, and imagine that it's holding in all of those beautiful organs that keep us moving and living this one life we have to live, depending on your belief system. And now we're going to lift up on our toes and come down to our knees and move back again into child's pose. And I have my hands beside my feet here. And I'm dropping my head to the ground now. You might want something underneath your head if it doesn't reach the ground, so you don't overextend your neck. And we're going to go right back up into a downward dog. And I'm going to climb it in. Breathing into our back body here. And then holding. And then exhaling. And once again, breathing into our back body. Holding. And then exhaling. If you get tired, you could bend your knees. And you can all bend your knees actually, and then feel your hips and your sitting bones moving up to the sky as you come up on your tiptoes, and then lower your heels down, and you'll find that you actually gain a little length in your spine that way. And up onto your tiptoes, and down again into child's pose here. So we're giving our backs a little rounding to counter the stretching of our downward dog. All right, we can sit up here. And I think we're going to just come up to, just come up. I'm just walking my hands back so that I'm in a forward fold here. And I'm just going to allow myself to feel that lovely release of a forward fold. I've got my hands hooked into my elbows, and my feet are, are hip width apart. So there's really not a lot of strain here. And once again, I'm just breathing and holding my breath in the interval between the in-breath and the out-breath. And that's the space where during the day, someone says something that irritates you, maybe even angers you, and you have that holding space, that pause between the inhalation and the exhalation to monitor your response. And maybe rather than having a reaction, you have a more measured response because you have access to that pause in your breath. And we're going to roll up here. Okay. Right. I'm going to move my camera out a little bit. And move it up so you can see my head. All right. So we're just going to do a couple of standing poses here because it's a good thing to just do a couple before we move back to our mat. Okay, so let's just, I'm going to put my hands on my hips, and I'm just going to move out. You could, in an anger, you jump out, but I'm moving out quite a wide stance here. And then I've got my hands on my hips because I want to feel that they are at the same level. And I'm turning my right knee out. My left foot is coming in, and I'm bending my right knee. And I'm really feeling that I'm like a little bouncing ball here. Nothing too extreme to hurt your groin, but a little bit of energy moving up and down. Good. Very good. And we're lifting our arms up. And we're feeling ourselves. My one teacher says down, 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 down when you're in this place. And you've got you're moving this thigh around this way, this thigh around that way, and you're feeling a tremendous strength in your feet and in your hands. So this is Warrior Two pose. Now we're stretching out, and we are dropping our elbow, our forearm to our thigh and moving that arm forward over so that we are on the diagonal. And then seeing if we can actually twist our chest towards the sun, which is somewhere in the world right now. It's very early in the morning here, so there's no sunlight right now. But it will be, as usual, probably a sunny day later on. And now we're going to just move our arm back, come up and draw our other arm over in this peaceful warrior. And then we're going to straighten our leg and slide our hand down into Trikonasana, triangle pose, and lift that top arm up. Once again, we're breathing here, and we're feeling ourselves in the interval between our breaths. We're imagining that as a pause that affords us time to reflect. And then we're going to come up, and we're going to move our feet forward. We'll just do a little bit of a forward bend here. Put our hands on the ground, walk forward slightly, and stretch our arms out here so that we're really giving ourselves a lovely opening once again in our back body, in our chest, to breathe. Inhaling, holding, and then exhaling. And now we're going to walk our hands back, and we'll just put our hands on our hips and come up. You might want to move your feet in, and we'll move into Warrior Two on the other side. So we've got our front foot facing out. I always try and stretch my toes out. It's a good opportunity to work your toes and to lift the arches of my feet up. And now we're bending this front knee, and we're going to move down, down, down. And our hips are facing front. We're trying to get our belly up. I have to confess, I went to a movie and had a lot of popcorn last night. So my belly is not really lifting up today, it seems. And I've got my hands stretched out. And we're just going to feel ourselves moving down, 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 and rotating out our thighs, pressing our thighs back and then our back thigh back to straighten our leg, feeling the energy move out the tips of our fingers. And now we're going to stretch out towards that bent knee, drop our arm down, and lift the upper arm over. So we're on a beautiful diagonal, and feel the movement around. So our spine is turning around. Our knee is over top of our foot. And we're really feeling that gorgeous opening in our chest as we continue to move down, down, down. And now lift that arm up, slide it along your leg. Your upper arm curves over in Peaceful Warrior. And now we're going to straighten front leg out, slide the arm down into Trikonasana, and lift that arm up. Now by rights, you want to have both sides of your waist similarly stretched, and you feel that hip really move back. So, and we're looking up. And we're breathing here, inhaling, hold, exhale. Inhaling, hold, exhale. And we're tipping up, and we're turning our feet in, wiggling them in, and then just finding our way to stand again. We'll wiggle our feet a bit, And then we're going to just roll down onto our hands and knees, and then over onto our back body. And we'll do a small bridge here, just extending our body out. So I've just got my arms pressing into the mat, and I'm just lifting my tailbone up, and then I'm curling it back down. I'm curling my tailbone up, and I'm unfurling it like a fern frond, tipping my tailbone up, and then I'm unfurling it like a fern frond. And this time, it's springtime, and the fern frond is opening up, and I'm pressing my pelvis towards the ceiling. My knees are pressing towards the opposite wall, and my chest is pressing up. Now you can, if you like, clasp your hands underneath you, roll your shoulders underneath you, or you can just press your shoulders into the ground and press your chest up. So you decide what you want to do. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. And I'm going to do a little bit of a variation. I'm going to lift my right knee up and press it up to the ceiling, my foot, and then lower it down. I'm going to lift my left knee up, press my foot up to the ceiling, bend my knee again, and lower it down, and then press into my feet, press my chest up, my pelvis, and now I'm going to lower down vertebrae by vertebrae, and then I'm going to relax. And here I'm just going to focus once again on my breath, that in-between space. And that in-between space is so rich in so many ways. I'll just allow you to feel your hands relax, your feet relax, your legs, your arms, your hips, and your pelvis. You might shift a little just to give yourself a sense of sinking into the floor, into the ground, into the grass, whatever place you are in your imagination. And I'll just let you feel the relaxation settle into your face, your cheeks, the skin, your forehead, your jaw, which might open slightly, your lips might open, your tongue can fall to your lower jaw, and you can breathe through your nose evenly, feeling a sense of spaciousness in your breath after an hour or so of regulating your breath and seeing what pauses we can find between the inhalation and the exhalation, and what happens in those spaces of in-betweenness. And I'm going to leave you in silence for a few moments. just snow, just now. There is neither heaven nor earth, only snow falling constantly. Kajiwara Hashin. This is an old Japanese haiku from 1864. It is the only poem of Hashin's that has survived. You may think, isn't that nice? The snow is always falling. But let's change that a little bit. Suppose I'm sick and this poem went, there is neither heaven nor earth, only illness pounding steadily. Or there is neither heaven nor earth, only old age approaching steadily. Sometimes people come into the Zen Center, writes Charlotte Joko Beck, and ask me if I know the meaning of life. Well, of course I do. Only snow falling constantly. There is only illness, only separation, only clouds, happening and happening and happening. Life isn't miserable or terrible, it's just what it is. And that can take the form of severe misery at times, tremendous joy at other times, or some feeling between the two. There is neither heaven nor earth, just snow falling, just poached eggs sitting on the table, whatever it is, right here. And I'll invite you to wiggle your toes and your fingers and feel a sense of vitality moving through your body. From the tips of your toes, you can stretch them out. You can stretch your arms out beside you or above you and feel your breath enliven every cell in your body. And when you're ready, you can bring your legs up and give yourself a cuddle. Bend your knees, draw them into your body. Feel the roundness of your spine against the floor. And now you can tilt towards the side. And if you feel like coming up, you can push into the ground and find yourself upright. And thank you for spending an hour of your time with me. I'll send out very good vibrations to you for the entire day and the week ahead. And teacher in me honors and salutes the teacher in you. The student in me honors and salutes the student in you. Deep bow.